drip this. Tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell him run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip this. Tell him run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip this. Tell him run it up.
Yo, 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 yo. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm going through my DJIs. I'm going through my Ozbot camera. Welcome out. It is DJ Tech Tuesday, not Thursday, because, well, I'm going to have to cancel Thursday because, as you guys probably all know, you guys should know, I am in, let me make sure we're good. Guys, give me a little notice. Let me know the sound is fine, the mic's fine, everything's good. Might be a little hollow, I know that much, but it is what it is. So let me know in the chat real quick before I begin. Sounds good. Okay, perfect. So I am in Florida for my kids' dance convention. So I'm going to be honest with you. I went to bed last night and everything was fine. Literally everything was fine. I woke up this morning, and remember, there's a 3-hour time difference. So normally, you know, I'm getting up at 7 o'clock, which is like 3 in the morning, and there's already an update saying Alpha Theta purchased Serato DJ. Or I guess it's not even Serato DJ, it's just Serato, because Serato is obviously more than just DJing, but we know it as Serato DJ, but they do have, obviously, Serato Studio and Sample, and then their plugin lineup for all the music production. They have everything. So you're going to think this is weird, but honestly, nobody knew. Absolutely no one knew anything that was going on. Mojax didn't know. Digital DJ Tips didn't know. Even people that I know work for Pioneer DJ did not know. So this isn't one of those things where we're, you know, kind of keeping it under wraps. It's just one of those weird things that just happens. I guess the timing is right. So, you know, we're moving forward. I see Mojax in the chat. What's going on, fam? Yeah, Mojax literally like shot that video. One take, by the way. One take. I know he mentioned that he was going to have to jump cut it. No jump cuts for Mojax. Mojax is a consummate professional. That's the only way he knows how to do things, is to do them right the first time. So welcome, Mojax, hanging out. This is weird. This is different. I'm not used to this. So just in case you guys want to know what I'm using today, I am using the YOLO Live box, YOLO Live Pro. I rarely ever use it, but I took it with me just in case. I knew I was going to be streaming probably on Thursday, but I'm not streaming on Thursday now because I'm going golfing. My wife is forcing me to go golfing with some people. Go out and make friends is what she said. So I'm golfing on Thursday, which is going to bleed right into what I normally do. So the YOLO Live, I'm under Wi-Fi right now, and I'm looking at the screen. Looks pretty good. I don't think there's really any issue. You can see suitcases and stuff, which won't close up because we don't need it to look like that. Change his name to Projax. I am using this guy and the Ozbot mobile. I can't even show you what it looks like because obviously it's shooting me. But again, this is one of those things. I did a video on it on my show. We did a live stream, popped up, and I didn't think it was going to work. I'm going USB-C out of this thing right into the Ozbot, and it's working. The only thing the Ozbot's not doing, see if it even remembers, it doesn't follow me. That is the one thing it's not doing because it needs that computer interface driver to work properly. That's okay. PJ's in the building also. What's going on, Brio and Johnny? Good to see you. So if you want to roast anybody, I get to move my camera up a little bit. There we go. If you want to roast anybody, roast PJ. He knew everything. Everything. It all runs through PJ. All of it. I know you see him and he's doing his whole lightsaber thing. He's like the Darth Sith Lord of Alpha Theta. Everything goes through him, but nobody knows. That's how good he is. So, I brought up this show because I did want to talk to everybody, just kind of get your feelings on everything, and I can kind of go through my thoughts. We'll go through your thoughts. We'll kind of figure out as I've been going through the day, talking to people, and just kind of talking out loud. Some things have just kind of popped into my head. So, I guess we'll just talk about it today. First off, from the wording that Alpha Theta and Serato has used, which is really weird because I went to a Pioneer DJ first thinking that it would be some sort of blog. No, it's only on Serato's. But if I know you guys went through Mojack's, but we'll just kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of what's going on here. Obviously, they are purchasing, I guess, just buying up all the stock, and it's going to be moved under the Alpha Theta umbrella, hopefully, assuming that Australia doesn't have a problem with it. I assume they don't think that. I know a lot of people were screaming monopoly and it's not fair. We're not big enough to be a monopoly, guys. This is a niche industry. So I don't think we have anything to worry about, or nobody's blocking the sale because of a monopoly. Nobody even knows who we are. And obviously, because Serato is not an American company, I don't even think they have a position, to be honest with you. And again, there are more than just Serato. I mean, there's Serato, there is Rekordbox, there is Virtual DJ, there's Algorithm DJ, there is the Reloop software, there's a Hercules software, there's the Engine OS software. So there's enough people out there where they can say, even though you have a large portion of the market, it doesn't really impact anybody. Now, what I believe, and I think it's what Mojax has said before, we're not going to see any changes for the next year or two, no matter what. Nobody's going to rock the boat. So I don't think anybody has to worry about tomorrow their hardware no longer working because Alpha Theta pulled the plug on some sort of RAIN program. I don't think we're going to see that. Have you thought about making this a permanent thing, DJ Tech Tuesday instead of Thursday? Yes, Sel Yang. The problem is Tuesday is really hard for me. So that's the only issue. Tuesday for me is usually when all of my clients, my DJ clients, call me. So it's just the first day of like a very, very busy week. Usually by Thursday, everything's wrapped up so I can move on. But Tuesdays are just hard. I know a lot of people like Tuesday for some strange reason. And to be honest with you, Nick also has a show on Tuesday. I don't really want to necessarily have to go up against Nick. Not that I'm worried or anything, but I think I like to have people have their space. So either I'd have to go on before him or after him, and I don't know how much talking you guys are interested in. So that'll be the issue. So for the first year or two, I don't think there's going to be an issue, at least with Serato and Rekordbox or Alpha Theta. I think where we might see an issue, potentially, is Prime Day deal. That's hilarious. Hey, look what I can do now. I couldn't do this before. With Yellow Box, I can bring up the comments. Tuesdays are hard. Audio One in the building. What's going on, fam? Does Roland have software? To be honest with you, I'm not even sure Roland's still in business. I mean, as far as selling DJ equipment. I know they have their music line, but I don't think they're producing any more DJ equipment. I think they might be done, to be honest with you. So if you guys have any questions, frustrations, you want to vent, throw them in the comments. We'll make sure that we try to get to them. And yes, John, Serato is a New Zealand company. Okay, so something as I was talking to somebody earlier, I think I was talking to DJ Kova, and one thing that popped into my head was really just more about in music than anything else, because I don't think, look, it's no secret that just in general, in music, as far as their relationship with Serato and the gear that's released, sometimes it feels like there is definitely some sort of a disconnect happening. Like, for instance, the Denon Prime Go. Remember, it did not have Serato. It has Virtual DJ now, but it wasn't supposed to have anything. If you guys remember the Prime 2, Prime 2 came out only Virtual DJ enabled, even though you absolutely know that Serato could definitely port over to it, but they didn't. So there is clearly, and then obviously Engine OS. So there is clearly we are prepared to move on if we need to scenario happening within music. Now, obviously, there's a large market of people that live and die by Serato. We know this. That's not going to change. I'm a big Serato fan. Love Serato. Can use all the software, but I absolutely do love the software, even though it definitely needs some work. So I think the push that Denon / NMusic, Engine OS, they've been putting in some serious work in their stuff. So I think they're fine. I'm more concerned about the future products. The ones where they were maybe on the fence because they didn't want to rock the boat, and now they're like, oh, well, what are we worried about? You know, Serato's now with Pioneer DJ anyway, so we might as well just do our own thing. So hopefully we will see a Prime or a Rain 4 mobile Prime hybrid with moving platters and an all-in-one. I think if they were thinking about it, I still think it's going to be 2-channel. That's just me though, but it might be 4-channel. But if they were thinking about it and they weren't sure when they were going to release it, I'm pretty sure now there would be a larger push. That's just my opinion though, because I kind of know how they think, and they're very confident about their Engine OS, as they should be. It's a really good program. So if they can start building that stuff and just have all-in-ones for all their products, maybe with Virtual DJ being their backup, I think they're going to be okay. Now, one thing that kind of popped into my head as I was talking to Kova about it was, Serato has been locked to basically Serato's software. They don't actually have any equipment. We know this. But they've never really been truly open source. So, or I should say open platform. I could see them becoming more of an open platform kind of company and making software accessible to everyone, kind of like the way Virtual DJ does it. But it just depends on how much, how much Alpha Theta allows them to be who they are. I don't know if I was in music, I would be comfortable, and we know mergers happen all the time, so this isn't anything new, but I'm making a product, a Rain DJ board, and I'm licensing Serato, so I'm giving them money every time I sell a unit, which is then the money that's going into Alpha Theta. I know it's not a big deal, but I don't know. I kind of feel like if I was running a company, I don't know. It's a weird scenario. It is a weird scenario. Let's see. Jamie says Pioneer 1000 SRT discontinued. SS3 discontinued. Serato stopped. Where did you go? Serato stopped supporting SS3. I ended up dropping it for Rev 7 because the updates for Serato didn't support anymore. I don't know what you mean. Even though the 1000 is discontinued, it works just fine and it's still supported. So is the SX3. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe the SX3 might have stopped being supported, maybe, but the 1000 works just fine. Okay. Let's see here. Chrissy says, Serato will be paid only soon. Sell your house, subscription money. So that is the thing that has been popping up. And I know a lot of people have been talking about this subscription thing that they go. First off, Serato already has a subscription model. That hasn't changed. That's been there. I think what most people are concerned with is that they removed the buy a license in perpetuity. I think that's more what people are concerned with. I I don't necessarily think there's a reason for them to pull that. I think it's fine, and because of at least the way their business model has been in the past, you kind of buy things for specific needs. So if you have hardware that supports Serato and it comes with it as its kind of software dongle, I know everybody hates that word. It comes as its software dongle. I think that's not going to change. So the only time you'd want kind of an overall piece of software is if you were buying the actual license, which works on every product. I don't think that's changing. I think that possibly, maybe they do. I mean, if it were me, I would do a subscription to their what do you call it? Their professional one, the one that works with the with the 900 and stuff. What is that called? The Pro Kit, Club Kit. I would love for that to be subscription based, because I know a lot of people don't actually need Club Kit until they need it, and there's nothing worse than going, oh, I actually need it now, and now I got to pay for it. Like, I'd rather be subscription based, to be honest with you. So it's anybody's guess. Like I said, I don't think anybody's rocking the boat right now. That would be insane to rock the boat, because all you would be doing is pushing people to other softwares. I mean, the moment I saw it, I started thinking, okay, well, what else would I use? Because we know that Rekordbox is going to be specific to Rekordbox. I think if you're a Pioneer DJ lover, this is just the best of both worlds. You're not going to have any issue. But if you operate with anything outside of it, the Numark controllers, the Rain mixers and the Rain controllers, all these things, that's the one you should probably be more concerned with. But money's money, and they're going to have to be able to show profit. And if they're allowing them to work autonomously, then Serato is going to have to show income increases. They're not just buying a company to see it die. Let's see. And I've said it before. This isn't the first time I've said it. Serato, unfortunately, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, always my opinion. Unfortunately, Serato as a software company will always be limited, because they don't produce anything but software. Now, obviously, with their Serato Studio, that was kind of their first foray into actually being able to sell a product. Serato Studio, Serato Sample, but Serato DJ Pro, they're really at the mercy of the hardware manufacturers. So that was always going to be an issue. I said it long ago. The only way that they're going to have longevity is if they start producing their own hardware. That's the only way. Anytime you're just a software company, software companies can be replaced. But even if Serato is your jam, there are plenty of softwares that are really good out there. Plenty. Algorithm DJ. It's a great piece of software. If they can just update their stems algorithm, I'd have no issue, because they do a lot of stuff right. They have the integrated databases and the great file management system, the optimized Mac OS. Like, it's a really good piece of software. Is Rain owned by InMusic? It is, Caesar. Very much so. So that's. But again, I don't think it's going to be a problem, and I don't think we're going to run into a situation where Serato just says, we're no longer supporting you. I think what you're going to see is, if they did decide that they were no longer going to do it, which doesn't make sense, does not make financial sense, it does not make it's not good business sense to just start pulling yourself from others. If anybody's pulling from Serato, it's going to be InMusic. It's not going to be Serato. Serato's going to kind of do their thing as they normally do. It's the InMusic that might say, you know what, I see the writing on the wall. It's probably just best if we just go in head first and just do our thing. And then people will either go or they don't. We have a lot of diehard Denon people, a lot of diehard, Rain people that just love Rain. So if they can port their engine OS to either computer-based or make it all in one, I don't think there's going to be any issues. Just somebody's got to learn a new program, or the people that don't want to use a new program, they just, keep going with Serato or Rekordbox. Now, the question is, I know it's probably a resource thing, because we know that Serato is in dire need of a software rewrite. We know this. And maybe with the sell the product, they can get an influx of cash, bring on more programmers, and maybe even utilize some of the things that that Pioneer DJ does, and get their software working faster. Because Serato is a very small group. When Stems came out, the reason that Stems came out was because they put everybody that was working on the rewrite into Stems, basically. So they don't have the capacity to do more than like one or two things at the same time. You got Serato Studio, you have a Serato rewrite, you got Stems that needs to come on board. So I think it's a resource issue. So maybe with a good amount of cash and support, financial support, they can start to, do the thing they need to do and get it right. That's my hope. Also, I'm hoping that Serato will work better or work more uniform with Pioneer DJ products. Because as a reviewer, and I don't know if Mojax is still on here, he will tell you, when we're reviewing products and we review the Rekordbox version and then we review the Serato version, they are always different. And the way that Pioneer DJ implements like their effects and their effects routing and their audio routing is different than the way Serato does their audio routing. So what happens is you run into situations like the Flex 6 where it does things in Rekordbox that are amazing and it's just okay in Serato. So I'm hoping now that since they will own Serato, they can now, supply them or even push them in a way that it actually works better with all their products. Now, obviously, boxes like, the DDJ 1000, the Rev 7, those were pretty much designed for Serato, so then it wasn't a big deal. But anytime you run into these like multiples, like, I don't know, the Flex, was it the Flex 1? The small one, like that one, it works better in Rekordbox than it does in Serato. It's a small amount, but it absolutely does work better. So I'm hoping that they can kind of kill that little middleman there. Hold on, let me see what people are saying. I'm switching back to vinyl. That's definitely an option. J Style Sounds in the building. What's going on, fam? Let's see here. Pioneer just prepping for the next gen standalone battle. I'll take Rain with Engine DJ. And that's going to be a thing. It's absolutely going to be a thing. But I don't know. I mean, God, I imagine a Serato all-in-one / Serato USB sticks. Imagine that. Imagine being able to export out of Serato and plug it into a CDJ 3000 and it just works. Ooh, I don't know, man. That's going to make a lot of people happy. And that's probably the biggest roadblock for professional DJs that are moving to like CDJs, or they're going on tour and this is in their rider or this is what they're supplying them. I think if you're using virtual DJ, it's not even a thought process. So that's not a thing. But if you were using Serato and then, hey, I got to go use CDJ 3000, I got to go do this. Oh, be able to pop in a thumb drive or an SD card and my Serato database is ready and going. I'm a happy man. I would be a happy man. Okay, let's see. let's see what people are saying here. Ratbone in the building, what's going on? RB lighting is nothing like sound switch, nowhere near. So yeah, so our record box lighting is decent. It definitely needs some work too, but it will get the job done. Does it get it done like sound switch? No. Does it get it done like the Wolf Mix? Absolutely not. But it will get the job done. If they can find a way to improve on record box lighting and then integrate that into Serato also, see, we're all winning. We're all winning. Because like, as I said before, this is not about, it's not really about in music. Because in music, I'm trying to think of all the hardware. I mean, they have the rain mixers, they have the Rain 1, they have the Rain 4, the new marks, and then they have the new mark that's the all-in-ones that also work with Serato. Not sure we'll be seeing that anymore. I think it's going to be a virtual DJ only type software. So there aren't too many that they have to worry about. Not like Pioneer. I mean, Pioneer really is, if when you really look at it from a larger picture, Pioneer probably has more products using Serato than any other company. So, you know, why keep paying when you can just buy them out, I guess. Let's see here. All right. Do you think now with the move, Pioneer DJ will implement stems in the Opus Quad or in other Pioneer hardware? So, well, obviously, look, Rekordbox has stems. They're not as good as Serato's, but they do have stems. So they didn't need to buy Serato in order to get stems in the Opus Quad or any of their all-in-ones. It's just a matter of them deciding whether or not they want to pursue that. I think at this point in time, now that Denon has shown, kind of, that all-in-ones are capable of doing stems, and now they have kind of a place that they can look to. Now there's a comparison model. Now, when people are like, well, I want to use the Opus or I want to use CDJs, but I really do like stems, so I'd like to see stems, so I'm going to go to this all-in-one over here. Now they have a way to kind of argue the fact that, like, we need to put stems in our all-in-ones. Let me plug in my battery. This battery is not lasting nearly as long as I had hoped. Because this is my plan. There we go. This is my plan for DJ Expo. I might just literally like tie in my Osmo bot and rock it that way, live. We'll see what happens. Okay. Yeah, but I think it's just a matter of time. The moment, like I said, the moment that Engine OS proved that it could be done, I think that Wichita, Kansas. Who's calling me from Wichita, Kansas? I will let that go to voicemail. It's weird being in this 3-hour time difference because my body, everything feels 3 hours behind. Okay, let's see here. Salying says, well, it's hard because Rekordbox and Serato back in the day were locked to DJ equipment, meaning you had to choose which equipment software you wanted to use. Nowadays, both software work on all Pioneer DJ. Yeah, so that was the first thing that they did well. Obviously, when they were first coming out with their Rekordbox software, DVS, I should say, computer-based, it was a competition. Let's see, we're better than this. We do this better. You know, this is what we're working on. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of diehard Rekordbox people. A lot of them. Warren Peace is the king of Rekordbox. Loves Rekordbox. I'm not even talking about thumb drive. I'm talking about just software. He loves it. I like it. I've talked to Drew from Pioneer DJ. The only issue I have with Rekordbox, it has nothing to do with the software. It's visually. I can't look at Rekordbox and navigate my crates easily. something about the way the colors are, where it is incredibly hard for me to see my crates. And the crate could be right in front of me. I can't see it. I don't know why. I just see things easier in Serato. So that's a me thing. It is absolutely a me thing. And I don't know if I'm the only one that's like that, but I think certain people like to look at things a certain way. And if it feels like everything's more difficult, you're not going to use it. But I also think that Rekordbox and Algorithm DJ are fairly similar style-wise. So I thought that last NAMM, the NAMM before, so 2 NAMMs ago, when Algorithm DJ made their push, and they had a booth for it, they had multiple booths that were using it, showing people how convenient it is using your iPad or your iPhone. I thought that they were going to see more traction, especially when you have major DJs using it. DJ Angelo, and you had some Beat Junkies and some Scratch Academy people, and DJ Revolution loves Algorithm now. I assumed that was all going to happen. That was my assumption. Didn't take off quite like I thought it would. So hold on, because I'm going to move over to DJ Switch. How come nobody's talking about DJ Pro? Your loop already has hardware. There's absolutely nothing wrong with DJ Pro. My only issue with DJ Pro is not on the computer side. The computer side is absolutely fine. It'll read your Serato crates. You can do all the things you need to do. It's perfect. The issue I have currently is that if I want to use my iPad, it's really difficult to get your stuff into the iPad. Now, if you use Mixmaster G's digital conversion utility applications, you're going to be in a much better position. But for me specifically, it's just complicated. I don't know why, but it's complicated. Let me get rid of some of these videos, since, like I said, I'm on kind of vacation. So you're going to see people potentially running in and out of this place. You might have just saw my wife. Actually, you do see my wife. Turn this way. Glad she didn't come out of the shower. That would have been bad. That would have been really, really bad.
Why are they watching you?
They are watching me. There's a mirror.
Oh.
Okay. All right, let me go back to the questions. I'm marked safe from the Serato buyout. All right, let's see what we got on the bottom. If I missed your questions, sometimes the YOLO box, the comment section moves so fast, and then it's too hard to get to the bottom. So you can go ahead and retype them if I did not answer your question. Larry Wilson says, I absolutely love DJ. Yeah, it's a great program. Lindell says, not a good day. What does that mean for Jen and Rain and Newmark? Which we talked about. I think, like I said, I think right now it doesn't really matter. I think we're fine. I think it's just, again, I don't think this has anything to do with Serato being purchased. I think it has to do. I think it has to do more with InMusic's response to their purchase. That's the issue. Because who knows? Who knows? But if they can make a Rain 4 all-in-one, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I would prefer a Rain 2 all-in-one, but we'll take what we can take, right? All right. Let's see here. Rigor mortis. Does anyone know if a site that has the 80s freestyle 12 inches and not today's remixes? Yeah, go to Beat Junkies. But if you're looking for records specifically, I haven't been looking for old school. I know I have places like Amoeba Records out in Hollywood that tends to have a really good selection of vinyl. But I don't know. Maybe people in the chat can let you know. But I know if you're looking for just via software or via digitally, that's great. And then there's also always the ability to, there's sites out there that sell 80s packs and 70s packs and 60s packs. So it's really just up to you. Okay, Tech9 says record box for management. Serato is better visually. I don't mind either. Yeah, I agree. Hold on. We are going to pause for 1 second.
De-energizers.
Coming right up. I'm sorry, did you say 20 C Energizer batteries?
D, not C, D.
D, not C.
D, D! Learn to speak English first, all right? D!
Look, wait, hold up. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure I was giving you the right batteries. Wait, hold up. You're not buying it for that ghetto blaster, are you? Come on, man. It's 2021. I got something better for you. I don't know if you know this, but in 2021, technology has changed. Now, instead of using that big old ghetto blaster, I can recommend to you the Mackie Thump Go. That's right, all battery powered, rechargeable, multiple ins and outs, Bluetooth compatible. And how does it sound? You think that thing sounds good? Wait till you hear this.
You all right, man. You all right.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Want me to wrap it up? You want a brown paper bag? Plastic.
Okay. So I know I just saw a question. Burner says, my issue is why force people to change software when everything's fine with Serato? Nobody's forcing you to do anything. So let's clear that up right now. You are fine using what you use. You don't have to change. Nobody's forcing you to change. There's nothing wrong with your hardware. Your hardware is going to run just fine. It's just a matter of the future. And again, the future is fine if you're a Serato user. Obviously, the future is far more secure, I think, now with Serato than maybe even before. Because now they have a large business backing them. Before, it was just Serato running everything. So I think we're in a better place. For if you're looking at it from Serato, if they were more concerned with, okay, maybe our sales are down. Maybe, people aren't buying as much hardware, even though we know they are, or maybe because of engine, people are going more to the all-in-one, or maybe they're going towards record box because of their all-in-one. So maybe we're more concerned with that. So let's listen. Let's entertain the conversation with Alpha Theta and see what we can do. So I think it's fine. It's funny. I know it says too funny. I watched this last night. So this is my Yellow Live box. I haven't updated the content, so it's all old content on here that I'm using. But it still works, so I'm happy about that. Okay. All right, Donnie says, I've used DJ for 15 years. I built my playlist in the music app with local files on the MacBook, then use the Apple Match service and everything. Yeah, see, I don't use Apple Match. I don't trust it. That'll never happen for me. And it's nothing personal, but I remember when Apple Match came up and it was killing people's files, literally replacing their files. When I saw that, I said, there's absolutely no way that I personally can use Apple Match. I have way too much hardware invested. I have way too many files invested, specific files that nobody else has that I know I can't ever get again. I don't want to risk it. So yeah, that's not going to happen. John T, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I have no idea how much that is, but I appreciate the thought. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see here. With Engine DJ, You only need it once to convert your Serato or other library. After that, you just add tracks. Yeah, that's the obvious way. However, for me, I don't know. I can never get it to work properly. When I found out that I could export my record box playlist and then just plug in my card and then it'll do the conversion on the hardware, I've never looked back. I am a record box export guy like crazy now. For me. But it is, some things aren't missing. It doesn't necessarily, it's not optimized because it has to run first. So there's always that issue. Caesar says, Engine DJ needs to create software to compete with Serato. Well, they have software. It's called their all-in-one. So the question I know I saw earlier was, is Engine going to make a desktop? I would not be surprised if they already have a desktop sitting somewhere and they just never used it, in all honesty. I don't see why they couldn't port over Engine OS to a computer-based situation. I don't see how that could be a problem. So I think we'll be okay. You know, again, this is more of, I think this is more of a, if you are a diehard Serato person and you use things outside of Pioneer DJ, are you comfortable moving over to another platform? Or do you live and die by Serato? Because I know a lot of people live and die by Serato because in reality, they've never really used any other software. I was the same way for years, basically up until I started doing YouTube. Serato's the best. Nobody's better. Virtual DJ sucks. Virtual DJ, it's all just spyware and hacked downloads. Rekordbox, only if you're using CDJs. You know, I didn't even hear about Algorithm DJ, but that's a toy. But you see, I think that's the logical way that a lot of people thought about anything that wasn't Serato. So once I started using all the other programs, I realized that there's not an issue. You're fine across the board. You're honestly fine. While I prefer Serato as my software, it's not the end all. Like I said, DJ has a lot of good traits. Rekordbox has a lot of good fundamental situations. Every day I DJ, like, you know, bar mitzvah client or wedding client will send me their playlist, and there's a song that I know, you know, let's say I'm doing like a request list, you know, or even like grand entrance for specific people. And let's say you got like 6 or 7 songs, right? And maybe one of those songs is like, I'm never going to play this song again. We do candlelighting. That's like it's like an appreciation thing where we have, you know, like 13 candles for bar mitzvahs, and then they will go up and acknowledge people, and people will come up, light the candle, take their picture, and then go off. A lot of times they will ask for songs that are very specific to that person that they're bringing up. Those are songs that I'm never going to play again. So for those, I like to use streaming. I like to pull them into like my download folder, or if I know I'm going to be somewhere where my internet is strong, like I don't have a problem, then I might even stream it that way too. But for the most part, that's when I use BeatSource. And I pull everything into my offline locker, so then I know it works. Here's the problem. If you're using Serato, there's absolutely no way to put that into a crate of its own. So you're almost better off literally downloading all those songs and putting them in the crate and calling it like candlelighting, and then just playing off of there, versus, okay, I'm playing from here. Okay, now let me go into my BeatSource crate. Hold on, let me scroll up. And if you have a lot of crates, let me scroll all the way up. Let me try to find the crate. Okay, there we go. All right, now I can put it. Now I got to go back to the original folder. Okay, let me slide through all this stuff. It's unnecessary. When every other program out there, whether it be Rekordbox, Algorithm DJ, Virtual DJ, allows you to have both streaming files and actual hard files on your computer in a crate. Like, I really should be using these other programs. I should be using Rekordbox or Algorithm. At least with Rekordbox, you have the ability, I don't know that you can. No, you can pull in streaming. But with Rekordbox and DJ and Virtual DJ, you can run multiple streaming services on the same platform. We all know, and you might not know, because some of you maybe only use like either Tidal or BeatSource or SoundCloud. Serato, it's one streaming service. One streaming service. After that, you're out of luck. So I should be using DJ. This all might change for me specifically. Oh, and DJ doesn't work with certain hardware. My Rev 7, no, DJ works with the Rev 7. It does not work with the 1000 on the iPad. So potentially you're going to run into those situations where maybe your software doesn't work. Virtual DJ tends to work with everything. Although I don't know, did they finally port over to the Opus Quad? Does anybody know? Let me know. I know that was kind of long on their list there. Engine OS fans got excited for a sampler. Really? Come on, you can never put your eggs in one basket. Yeah, so that's why I tend to prefer things like Mixmaster's, digital conversion, or Lexicon, or something like that, where you can keep your database in one place and then you can just, move things over if need be. So that might be for if you're using like, if you're not using Serato, that might be using like Apple Music as your database, and then importing everything over to whatever software you want to use, Rekordbox or DJ or whatnot. That might be the case. I no longer use Apple Music in that form, but I will probably put my playlist over there or my crates over there regardless, just because it's just a good thing to have. So so that's kind of where I'm sitting. I have been far more open-minded as far as getting everything to be where I need it to be, and using every program that I'm comfortable with. So I've been saying this for years. People didn't want to listen to me. Learn other programs. You can be a Serato fan and still learn other programs. Learn Virtual DJ. Learn DJ. Have a copy of both of them. Have a copy of one of them at least. Because at least if you have a copy, for the most part, DJ and Virtual DJ will work for the most part on pretty much every hardware out there. So if you run into a situation where, you're in a place and you're like, you have a you have a Prime 4 here, or you have something, let's say it doesn't work with Serato. You have Prime 2. Okay? What do? You're kind of screwed. So have another software so you can use it. So Virtual DJ is the software that I typically refer because it pretty much does work with everything. DJ has its issues, but Virtual DJ, for whatever reason, has found a way to work with everything. I have a license so I can use it on anything. And it will read your Serato DJ crate without having to do anything. Same thing with DJ. So this should be a trigger for you guys to actually start. Paul says it's absurd. Absurd for who? Absurd for you or absurd for Serato? Because I think Serato's like, thank you, this is great. And I think Pioneer DJ is like, we're covering the majority of people that use DJ equipment. Sir Gino says, I use Serato on a Rain 4. Will this move by Serato change things? I'm very green and not sure what feature actually means with this move. So, no. Okay, so you know how, what this reminds me of? I was thinking about this. I might do a skit on this anyway. It reminds me of when Serato discontinued Scratch and people freaked out. What does that mean? Is my stuff not going to work anymore? No, it's not what it means. You might have to learn a new software, but your stuff's going to work just fine. Now, at a certain point, yeah, there were things that they discontinued. However, if you were using a Rain 57 and you're using Serato Scratch, right, or whatever version of Serato Pro before they discontinued it, if you were using all those things, none of this affects you. Like none of it affects you because you are not cutting edge anyway. So your software is going to work just fine. You know, anything that I'm thinking about that's going to change is going to change in the next few years. Does that mean that your computer and that the hardware you currently use are no longer going to work? No, they're going to work just fine. So when you are at a point where you finally decide, okay, it's time to finally upgrade, it's time to do something, change it up. Well, then you can kind of consider what makes the most sense, you know? And if you're a diehard in music person, I have a feeling that there's going to be something that is going to come onto the horizon that's going to work for you. But the question is, do you want to use, engine PC? That's the question. And I don't have an answer for you. Local Lopez in the building. Good to see you, fam. Thanks for hanging out today. HK Morrow says, laptops will only be used for downloading and prepping tracks, playlists. Your library will live on the cloud and stream to your all-in-one USB sticks as a backup. I hope that doesn't happen. In all honesty, I hope that they don't go cloud-based only. I think that's the worst solution for working mobile DJs, because you cannot guarantee what your signal strength is going to be, what the internet's going to be wherever you are. I've literally done events in the mountains. Okay, so there's no way in the world I'm trusting any cloud-based situation. And I mean, even for instance, like even if it's just calling up to the internet to make sure you're valid, I don't even want that. So that's always a concern for me, because I've run into issues even with BeatSource. Not their fault, but like where for whatever reason, let's say I hadn't been in BeatSource for a while, okay, and then I got to the place, I opened up BeatSource, and there was no internet. And it needed me to log in. Just log in. But because I had never logged in for a couple of weeks, it did not like that situation, and I could not get on BeatSource. So I know for me now it's a mental note. Just make sure you get on BeatSource before you leave. Just so it kind of registers you in there, puts that token in, so it doesn't ask you to log back in. Because I work weekly, so every week or so I might go into BeatSource. I gotta log back in, but I'm not worried because I'm in a good place. But if I know I'm going somewhere, I have a wedding in Montana in 2 weeks, and I asked the lady, I said, what in the world is there internet where this is going to be? She's like, I have no idea. Okay, I have to over prepare for this party. Make sure I have everything. I'm still using Scratch Live with Windows 98. I'm good. See, Feta? I'm surprised you're even online. I'm surprised you're even on the YouTubes and the interwebs. Saying says, I'm a big fan of both. Great. I think you should be. Don't mind. I'm just reading and enjoying the chat. And DJ Mac Attack says, yeah, cloud-based streaming is no bueno for cruise ships. Exactly. Fully realizing that internet is a problem, but I've DJed with just using my phone with a hotspot and got lucky that T-Mobile service is great. So this is what I will say. Anybody that is deciding or looking for using your phone, like with DJ, or using your iPad, as long as it has cellular service, what are you doing? Why are you always in my business? Yeah. As long as it has cellular service, for the most part, it actually works better. Like it works better than your hotspot. So anytime I keep my iPad up with my Rev 7, I have my iPad on one side and I have Serato on the other. And then if I need to pull a stream or if I need to move my computer or whatnot, trust me, I've run into many, many situations where it's been an issue. It's a good backup just to have up. It's small, it's compact, it stays out of the way. So it's good. All right, let's see here. And I would advise you to change somewhere else. Okay. Let's see here. I know I'm a little behind here. Tweak Music Tips in the building. Good to see you, fam. Oh, by the way, if anybody, you guys know I'm in Florida. So tomorrow, you guys need to head over to Twitch and head over to Tweak Music Tips page, and it's literally Tweak Music Tips. I'm going to be on live with DJ Kova at the location. I'm going to be in the Starship office. I'm really excited to be in the Starship. Hope that green screen is big enough to cover us both. Okay, let's see here. Where am I at? How far back am I? I'm not that far back. Selling says, will Pioneer DJ, so the lighting, DMX lighting, for Rekordbox work with Serato DJ now or in the future? Will Pioneer DJ make Serato one of these? So nobody knows. Nobody knows. But I will tell you this much. Having a Flex 10 at my home with a DMX out, I would absolutely love if I could just run a DMX out from there and use either Serato or Pioneer DJ. I think it's a matter of time. I think it's already there. So all they have to do is let the port be active, port over the DMX lighting for Pioneer for Rekordbox, and I think it's possible. I think they kind of would have just created like a sound switch, and then if they can beef it up, it'd be a nice little competitor. You know, and I like Sound Switch. I like Wolf Mix also. I even like what Chevet DJ is doing now. Now that they have incorporated the ILS and then everything's talking to one another, I'm actually a big fan. I have been using ILS for the last 4 weeks. I've been using ILS, and I have the Gig Bar Move ILS and then two 160s on my Danny Max totems. They've been really good to me. They have been really, really good to me. So again, it is an amazing time to be a DJ. I know people are scared, but honestly, this could fix a lot of the issues that we were having with Serato in the past. This could be the thing that allows them, pushes them to get their software up to spec, get their database working properly, incorporate some of the Rekordbox lighting, anything the Rekordbox is doing. I don't see why they couldn't port it over or make a Serato version of it, like rebadge Rekordbox lighting. Why not? It's definitely possible. Drew says Rekordbox lighting is horrible. Rekordbox lighting is not as good as Sound Switch, Wolf Mix, Light Rider, but it's not the worst thing on the planet. Like, it's usable. If you're trying to get super custom, I personally, there's too many steps involved in my mind, but it's definitely usable. Is it true that Pioneer has the rights to Serato now? Yes. Yes, it is true. Well, it's not true yet. They haven't completely signed the deal, but it's just a matter of time before that happens. Let's see here. Wow, this is a good turnout. 209 watching. This is an amazing turnout, actually. You got here? Ridiculous. And I'm at a hotel. I'm not even on my pretty background. See you later. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I'm pissed off that this came as a surprise, says John T. Well, how else would you like them to notify you? I mean, is there really a good way to release something as big as this? I mean, what are they going to do? Little subtle things? I mean, I guess what they could have done was like have a leak, and then people can say, and they couldn't leak it because, I'm sure that if that was a leak and nothing was fully secure, I would not put it past InMusic to consider putting their hat in the ring. In all honesty, that's that's InMusic for you. Fun fact: the Prime Minister of New Zealand DJs on Serato. He better. I mean, as I think about all the things, all the exports that are coming out of New Zealand, I don't think about a lot of things that are coming out. So he better be in love. Uh, I've used that line during past dates. Oh, is that one of those? I released it too early, and now I'm embarrassed. Yeah, there's no good way. Um, okay, let's see who else we got here. Uh, all right, stop moving. You don't travel with your neon sign. That would be great. So for a moment, I actually thought about literally just turning on the green screen, but then it is what it is. What I'm more impressed right now that this Ozbot camera works with this system. I honestly, I might take this and I might get myself a little more secure uh, video. With this guy right here, I can go HDMI out, but then if I go HDMI out and I go with my A7 IV, even though the quality is going to be absolutely amazing, that is a heavy ass rig. And you have to mount this somewhere, but like if I can do it where I basically, oh, sorry, if I can do it where I basically walk around with this guy in my hand and then have the camera right up top right here, and I can hold it like so, that might work. Plus I can see all the comments. I don't know. Now that I know this works like this, it's gonna, I know they have a smaller one. I hope at some point they send me that smaller one, because that might change things. Do you think we can say goodbye to Rekordbox? I don't think so, because as far as the big picture is concerned, even though you have diehard Serato people, Rekordbox technically is a better software. I said it. It's a. Can I zoom in? Does it know? I forget how to do this. I think you do this. I see it turning blue on me sometimes. I don't know. I don't know the movements. I don't know the movements. But as I was saying, yes, Rekordbox is the better optimized software. Serato is just more used. So I don't think we're gonna lose Rekordbox. I think it's gonna stay, especially considering that there are just people out there that they only use Rekordbox, to port over to their CDJs. So it's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's see here. Get a Sony ZV-1 for portability. I don't personally. It's not really about the camera per se, but this Ozbot is literally like 4 ounces. Like it's nothing. I want to be able to just use my phone. That would be great if I could just put my phone right up top here. On the bottom, you can see there's a put.
I'm sorry, did you say 20C Energizer batteries?
D, not C, D.
D, not C.
Sorry, didn't mean to hit that button. So it's just a matter of time. When I get back home, I'm gonna really try to rig this thing out and see if it's possible. Also, I found out that my monopod actually fits in my suitcase. I was concerned. My original suitcases that I had, it didn't fit in there, but now it does fit. So now I can take my monopod to DJ Expo. So very excited. Okay. Phil Tan in the building. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. I really don't think we lose any of the platforms. Where did it go? I think some will just rise up a bit more. Yeah, I mean, when we say some, I don't think tractors. I don't think we're going to see a huge update on tractor, and people are going to run the tractor. I think if this announcement had come out 2 NAMs ago, when Algorithm DJ was all over the booths, I think a lot more people would be, jumping ship. I honestly do. And look, there's software for everybody out there. Every time I went to NAMM, and Hercules has their own software, Reloop has their own software, and all I was thinking was like, that's great now, but I'm a Serato guy. Like literally, that's all I was thinking. So potentially, and again, Serato has to, two things that can happen here. Two things. In my opinion, these are just my opinion. Serato, either they bought Serato to literally just basically suck their IP in, make Rekordbox the standard, pull all the good things about Serato, which they knew anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. But basically just take their user base and port it over to, you know, I don't know what they'd call it, or Serato box or Recordo. I don't know what they're going to call it, but they could do that. That would be the first thing. I don't think that's what they're doing. So the second thing would suggest that Serato is its own independent company that has to show profit. Okay? You don't buy a business that's not going to earn a profit for you. That's bad business. So either take all their IP, take all of their people, bring them in, have them working all on Rekordbox, getting it up to the best Rekordbox ever, or let Serato do its thing. So Serato's IP, they do their own thing, and then they have to show a profit. They don't show a profit, you know, they might be sold again. That's just my thought. That's the way normal business works. I don't know if your audio is in and out. Sorry, I'm at a hotel. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. Pioneer wants to kill the competition. So this statement I've been seeing a lot of. Pioneer wants to kill the competition. I have a hard time thinking that that's Serato's game plan. It's not in their best interest to be the only game in town. You need competition. Competition sparks growth, and it sparks innovation. Without it, you get stagnant. If you're the only game in town, you know, right now we have Virtual DJ, but Virtual DJ is a software company, so they don't really matter. The hardware is all being made by, you know, Pioneer DJ. They don't really have anything to worry about. But you don't want Rain to go out of business. You don't want Newmark to go out of business, or Denon. You don't want that. And neither does Pioneer. Trust me. Let's see here. Philip says, maybe this issue has already come up, but my guess is that Serato was already looking for a buyer, and Pioneer could not afford to let in music by Serato. Yeah, that was what I said earlier. 100%. If you really knew Serato, I mean, we're talking about like I think they have like 20 or 30 people. Like, it's a small company. And if, for instance, I saw somebody said COVID kind of hurt them. If COVID messed with their dollars and they were like, okay, you know, now that In Music has Engine OS and they're really pushing Engine OS across the board, they don't necessarily have to buy our license, because it is now they have been, obviously they've been doing it because they know it's a smart idea. Okay, there are two things that I believe. One thing in particular was when Rekordbox was making Rekordbox only products, Rekordbox only, you know, Pioneer products, and then a Serato product. I said that's a dumb idea, because it doesn't make sense. If you're trying to get people to use Rekordbox, you don't make a program, you don't make a hardware that doesn't work with it. So they needed to do this. The same thing is happening with Engine OS. You're actually putting yourself into a worse situation if you only make a program that only works with the one thing. Because if somebody's using Serato, it's going to be very difficult to get them to move over to Engine OS. Now, if there was a product that did Serato and Engine OS, Well, this gives them the opportunity to dabble in Engine OS. Just create a backup for Engine OS in case something goes wrong with Serato and they need to move over. Like that thing right there is how you get people to move over. In my opinion, that's what I would do. So you're seeing the same thing that's happening now. And if that writing was on the wall, because we knew Engine was pushing for their own stuff, and Serato's like, in 5 to 10 years from now, there's the potential for Engine OS to be so good, or so complete, I should say, because it's all personal preference which software you like. But so complete that people that were buying like a Rain 4, or if they ever come out with the Rain 4 mobile, now it's an all-in-one. There's no incentive, especially if you're a Rain lover, then you're going to go, okay, I'll just move over to this now. I can tell you this, every time I use the Prime 4, even though it doesn't have moving platters, but every time I use the Prime 4 or I use the Newmark, Mix Stream Pro or Pro Go or any of those things, in my mind, every time, wow, this is so convenient. All I have to do is plug in my XLRs and turn the power on. This is so convenient. My lighting, all I got to do is plug in my sound switch. Now, I'm hoping that the next version of whatever they come out with doesn't even need the ability to have a dongle. Just work properly out of the box and let the Prime be the dongle. That's what I'm hoping for. And just put a DMX in there. Call it a day. So if anybody's like me out there and they're using these programs, I don't know, man. It feels like it makes sense to a lot of people. It just makes sense. And the problem is, at least with Rekordbox, they don't have any cheap versions of hardware. They don't have a $500 Newmark type piece of hardware that's an all-in-one. They don't make them. They should. They definitely should, but they don't. So we're still in the same situation where, if they did, Serato, being a software-only company, has nowhere to go. You have Hercules making their own software, Reloop making their own software, Traktor has its own software, Rekordbox has its own software, and InMusic has their own software. Where does that leave Serato? So this was a good business move for Serato. Get some security. They have, which is why they're putting so much emphasis on like Serato Studio and things like that, because that's a money thing that is not impacted by DJs buying DJ equipment. If it were me, I would tell Serato to make that thing open platform and work on everything. I would totally go the virtual DJ route. And then people just either buy the subscription or they buy a one-time unit. That's what I would do. And just work with everything. And then if you're pulling in music, not in music, if you pull a virtual DJ, there's nothing technically that InMusic can do that you can't work around. Because if it works on virtual DJ, you can make it work on Serato too. And virtual DJ are like pirates. Even if you tell them no, they're still going to make it work for whatever you got coming out. I mean, they're gangster. They are really, really gangsters over there. So, more love to them. It is different, but more love to them. Okay. I haven't tried the new Hercules update, but they do actually look like they are trying to catch up. Yeah, and especially with the push for this new T7 that's coming out. That T7 is going to open the door to a lot of people that thought Hercules was a toy. A lot of people are gonna take a look at them now. And the only problem that Hercules has is that they don't have any like premium products. Because I think this T7 is going to open up the door for people to go, what else you got? What else you got? And maybe if this sells like I think it's going to sell, I think the T7 is going to sell like crazy. In honesty, I don't see how it can't. I think we're going to see some ships. It's not going to be a big shift. Pioneer's still going to run things. Pioneer has run things. They are the standard for clubs. They are a big, big, big retail seller for mobile DJs. Anytime I look at any Instagram reel or somebody promoting their stuff, what do I see in either the Danny Max booth or whatever? There's always some sort of DDJ 1000, maybe even a 400 or whatever. A lot of people buy Pioneer products. So Hercules had the first controller. I mean, that's fine. Doesn't mean anything, it is what it is. Lance Jackson, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out today. Let's see here. Got a great deal on a Prime 2 just in time. Well, we know it's going to work for Virtual DJ. So, and I hope the deal was really, really good, because since Prime 2 is discontinued, there's no reason for you to spend Prime money for it. Let's see what Mixmaster said. I might have missed him. Mixmaster, what did you say? Engine DJ is great software, but Denon never really educated why it is so different from anything else. It would make sense for InMusic to take over VDJ and make that DJ and Engine OS prepare software. Okay, I can see that. Look, I think that, look, first off, Virtual DJ, they're proud people. I don't even know if they'd be willing to sell. But if they were going to sell to anybody, InMusic makes the most sense. It absolutely makes the most sense. They have a good relationship with them. They seem, the Denon Prime Go works with Virtual DJ. It doesn't work with anything else. So for whatever reason, they're getting into bed with Virtual DJ. And I think that was probably the first step for Serato. When they started making, Prime 2 was Virtual DJ only. Denon Prime Go was nothing. And then when they finally released it, it was Virtual DJ only. I think that might have scared them a little bit, because think about it. If all of your eggs in either InMusic or Pioneer DJ, because there's nobody else, is Serato working on anything else? Hercules, okay. Reloop, but those are all just kind of, lower products. And I don't know the Mixon 8, by the way, which I do have a Mixon 8 coming to me, guys. So yay me, Mixon 8's coming. Finally, I got one coming. So, but honestly, you're really going to try to put your eggs into one, a couple of releases from Reloop and a couple of releases from Hercules? That's a recipe for disaster. Now, I do have a question though. Now that Serato is moving to Alpha Theta, Pioneer DJ, what does that mean? Because I've gotten conflicting information. So I talked to the people at FaZe, and lovely people, love them to death, and I asked them point blank. I said, I love FaZe and HID mode with Serato. Wireless HID mode is amazing. Love it, love it. When are you going to start working with other companies to get HID mode in theirs? And she said to me, we don't have exclusive with Serato. People just need to come talk to us and get it in there. So I don't know exactly where the fall off is, because in my mind, that's something that Virtual DJ would have done immediately. It's weird to me that only Serato's the only one that's doing, FaZe HID mode. Weird to me. So now, at least we'll probably get Pioneer. We'll get Rekordbox with HID mode, which will change a lot of things, because that was one of the issues for me, is why I stay with Serato, because I love HID mode. I love FaZe. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do, honestly. DJ Plug in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. You said DJ squared, V squared, half the price of retail. Is there a retail on a discontinued product? Is that even possible? And I'm half joking, half serious. Okay. Pressure and money. Yep, exactly, Mixmaster G. Exactly. Roy Calwood, I apologize if you've already answered. Do you have the Record Pool promo code from last week? It was Cleveland. So last week on the show, last Thursday, we did a promo for DMS, Direct Music Services. I don't know if it's still valid, but if you're looking for a music record pool and you're looking at DMS and maybe that's an option, go ahead and use my promo Cleveland and see if it works, and that'll get you 50% off at least the first month, maybe even more. Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it. Exactly. The mix on 8 is supposed to be coming. I have the the documentation I have to put in with all my email and stuff. So not my email, my address, so they can send it to me. I'm going to do it today when I get off with you because I'm in Florida until Wednesday. So maybe by the time I get back, there will be one there, and then I can take it out. You know what's interesting to me? Correct me if I'm wrong, and you guys can correct me. Well, no, I know this is true because Matt has one. I have not seen one review for the Mixon 8. Not one. I have not seen any Instagram stuff. I've not seen anything. That's probably my biggest problem with I think they're called Atoms, the company the umbrella company that owns both Mixon, the Reloops, and Hercules. Their marketing is questionable at best. It's you guys know how much it's taken for me to even get them to even attempt to send me a Mixon 8. I mean, that's kind of how they are across the board. I hope that when the T7 comes out, I have a feeling I'm just going to have to go through another place. It's just going to be easier for me to get it from somebody else, in all honesty. So I've been working with Hollywood DJ, and we're doing a program for DJ Expo. So a lot of the things that I'm going to be doing at DJ Expo are going to be Hollywood DJ related. And it's interesting to me because even as I was talking to the guy that runs it, he's like, "Oh, I can get you the T7," and I'm thinking about my conversations with Hercules, and they're like, "I don't know, I'm still working on it. I think I might be away." And I'm just like, I can't operate that way. It doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for other people, but it is. Alpha Theta will buy phase. Alpha Theta by phase. That is, well, I would say probably not, at least right now, because as of NAM 23, they are on their own. I mean, yes, they still are under the umbrella, but apparently, they've been so successful that they're pretty much running themselves. So I doubt you're going to see them being bought unless the deal is something that they can't, turn away. So it'll be very, very interesting. Okay, let's see here. T Dizzle in the building. It's the same with the new Hercules releases. They put out some great looking updates, but no one knows about them. Yeah, exactly. And they have marketing choices. I'm going to try to talk to them when I'm there, but I think the issue with Atoms across the board, I think they're putting their hardware into the hands of the wrong people. In my opinion, I believe they're operating kind of like the way normal people operate. Like, oh, hey, this person's a big influencer. They got lots of followers. Let's send them a product. They can talk about it on their IG and whatever, and then people will turn around and buy. That's not the way it works for DJ equipment. And I think that they don't understand that, or whoever's in charge of marketing doesn't understand that. So, because I'm not even tooting my own horn or anything like that, but I know for a fact that if I have a product and it's good and I review it and I say it's good, they're going to sell units. I know that for a fact. But the way they think, I think is backwards. I think they're thinking like a regular retail company when that's not how the DJ industry works. So it is what it is. Let's see here. Cleveland went Hollywood. That's funny. That's actually that's not a bad line. I might have to use that. Pablo. More belt drive controllers. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, if the belt lasts, look, if I buy a T7 and it costs me $600-700, right? And it lasts for, let's just say it lasts 3 years, okay? And I have to buy another one. I don't think you are feeling as disappointed as you would if your DDJ 1000 failed or if your Rev 7 failed. So it doesn't have to last forever. You know, if I spend $2,000 on a product, I expect that $2,000 product to last me, 5 to 10 years. And if I take care of it, it should just last. There's not anything in it. Like for me, like with the Rev 7, at least with the Rev 7, there's moving mechanisms in it, so it makes sense that there's going to be at a certain point some sort of breakage or wear and tear, and it no longer works the way it's supposed to. But if it doesn't have like moving platters and it's like a 1000 shit like that, it should last pretty much forever. I still have my SX2. I bought that SX2. Let's see, we've been in business now for almost 16 years. So that would have been, 2007, 2008. So I bought that SX2, and I think right around 2010, 2011. It still works today perfectly. Yeah, I got to spray it with some deoxit because I don't use it, so the faders get stupid. But it still works. It's over 10 years old. That has made its money back. Absolutely. So if I buy, CT is... That's funny. Yeah, exactly. So I'm totally fine with that. My 1000, both record box version and Serato version, have been workhorses and have never had an issue. I'm gonna find some wood. Here. So I'm. That's fine. Even with your computer, if I buy a MacBook Pro and this computer I expect to last me, if just by using it, it'll last 10 years. You people are still using 2012 MacBook Pros. So that should tell you how long they last. Now, of course, the 2012 MacBook Pro, you could open it up. You could make changes on your own. It's a little different now with these new ones, but the Apple hardware is built to last. So, which is why, we're running into the issue right now with like iPads and Apple Watches and, even phones. They're built so well that there's no reason for us to update every year. My iPad, I have an iPad Pro 11-inch, and they've come out with like 2 new updates. Not good enough for me to upgrade. This MacBook Pro 14, the only reason why I would update from this computer, the only reason is if they come out with a version where the battery lasts as long as a 16-inch Mac. I don't care if they come out with a Face ID up here and it opens up without me having to put a password in. I don't really care about any of that stuff. That's all I care about is battery life. So if they can make that battery last, that's the only reason why I would buy it. Danny says, watching now in 2012 MacBook Pro. Exactly. Do I think that the DDJ RZ will now work with Serato with this new announcement? Nope, I do not think that. I think at a certain point, look, I don't know if they're going to go backwards. Okay, they'll go forwards, but I don't think they're going to do any type of backwards compatibility. I don't think that's going to matter. 1000 jog wheels suck. I sold it and bought the Rev 7. DJ Dubs, what does that mean exactly? What do you mean they suck? Be more specific for me. And keep you unmuted until it dies. Never. Yeah, agreed. And look, I think it's a maturity thing for this statement, because when I was younger, I had to have the newest and greatest. My son is the king of like, there's a new iPhone, Dad. I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta buy it. Like, then you're buying it out of your own. I'm not buying it for you. This phone right here, this iPhone, this is an iPhone 12? 12. No, 13. Yeah, it's just an iPhone 13. And the only reason that I would even consider updating it, and I will be updating it this year, only one reason. USB-C on the bottom. That's it. After that, after I upgrade to that, I probably won't upgrade my phone for a long time unless they get rid of the circle, the punch hole. That's probably the only reason I would do it. Okay. Let's see what. I'm on a show. Be quiet. Tweak Music Tip says, when I used to use Windows laptops to DJ, I had to have Serato and drivers when the thing would crash. Don't know why. Yeah. I mean, look, depending on who you talk to and who you ask, people will tell you there's nothing wrong with Windows, and there isn't. Essentially, I had a Windows computer for a year. I moved over, and it was just fine. I didn't have a problem with it, except for the arrows and the trackpad. It's hard to leave MacBooks because of their trackpads and the layout. There's nothing better than a MacBook trackpad, and I can't leave it. That's my issue. Cannot leave it. I wonder when and will I have get. I wonder when and will I. Oh man, I don't know what that says, DJK. Mac Joseph. So Mac Joseph, do you use specifically your iPhone on every event, or do you have another computer or iPad or whatever? Let me know. Denning goes forever. Well, I mean, it's hard to break hardware. In all honesty,
I'm really good at it.
Why are you in my call? Why are you in my show?
I'm taking a nap right now.
You're taking a nap? All right, go.
$7 for a small Red Bull here.
Don't buy it here.
I walked to 7-Eleven.
How close is it?
Across the street.
7-Eleven's across the street?
Yes.
Get out of here. Okay, thank you. I'm never buying you a bag of chips again there. It cost $3 for a bag of chips at this hotel. And I'm not talking like, ooh, a grab bag, the super grab. I'm talking about like the bag you get out of like a multi-pack box. $3. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Okay, let's see what I have a computer, but my iPhone works flawlessly. That's amazing. That is totally amazing. My only issue with using your phone is just the type is so small, it would drive me crazy. That's it. Windows 10 11 has been pretty stable, but Apple having set hardware is hard to beat in terms of stability. Yeah, exactly. Matt says the MacBook trackpad was the first one that made me stop reaching for a mouse. Yeah, and look, I'm gonna say something right now. I know it's gonna hurt some of you people, but anybody that uses a mouse while they DJ, I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm talking about this guy, where he's literally got like his hand, like no. I have been far more open ever since I started doing YouTube to everybody out there and what they use and what they do. Like I'm totally like more open-minded to whatever. Do your thing, have a good time. But when I see somebody with a mouse, a little bit inside me dies. Like every time, like it's the same people that bring desktops to their events. Like, you're really going to bring an iMac Pro to your event? Really? That's what we're doing now? Like, I can't. Yeah, no, I agree. My iPad has 5G in it, and it's like, it's almost like magic. When like you're using like algorithm DJ in an iPad and you're playing through your music and you grab a song and it just plays and you're like, I have everything at my fingertips. Like it's so great to be a DJ right now. Now, and I know my iPad works with my Rev 7, I haven't because I haven't found an easy way to get my music over. It doesn't take me weeks to do, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But and I'm a little scared of I'm a little scared of heat in the iPad. I'm just a little scared about that because I've seen what happens when my phone is in direct sunlight, and then you go to touch it, and it's like danger. Can't use it until it cools down. I don't want to see that on my on a paid gig. That would scare the hell out of me. So that's probably my only reason why. Because my iPad, I have the where is my iPad? Hold on, let me pop something in here real quick. Where is it? Trying to look for old school. Oh, speaking of, let's go here for a second. Haven't used this one in a while. All right, so here is my iPad. I have a Magic Keyboard. Algorithm DJ works. All the trackpads, all of the options, everything works. So this is essentially a computer. I have the one USB here for the actual controller, and then I have another USB just for power down here. So it is essentially a controller, and it really works amazingly well, like amazingly well. If I can get all my music over, maybe I'm going to work on that one over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to work on that in the next couple of weeks. And I could kind of get it to sync properly. So my thought pattern was to pull everything from BeatSource. Just put all my files into my offline locker and then just DJ through there. That is my thought. So I'm going to have to use Mixmaster G's his applications to be able to get my cue points over, because that's the most frustrating part of streaming. Your cue points disappear. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Mixmaster, we need to talk again. I don't know if you ever sent me that version. I can get rid of, you can't get rid of all your lighting dongles, says Joel. So okay, you don't need to use that. Get yourself a Wolf Mix. Get yourself technically you couldn't use. I mean, technically you could use Light Rider. You could use Light Rider / MyDMX Go, and just have it working underneath, because you can have two things working. That'd be an option. Because like right now, hold on, let me see here. Maybe later. Let's bring up Light Rider. So there's Light Rider, and look how fast that thing loaded in. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? I'm gonna turn it down so it doesn't demonetize me. But song's playing, and Light Rider still works. I doubt you'd be able to run them side by side. Let's see. Yeah, you can't run them side by side. That would be amazing if you could. Well, you can do a flyover, as you see here. You can do a flyover. That might work. Oh, but that would be amazing if you could do. Yeah. Okay. So I plan on doing a video 30 days just using an iPad to try to do everything and see if it's possible. That's my plan. I haven't been there yet. Let's see. Mixmaster says BeatSource will work, but the offline part on the iPad will be an issue to get synced up. Easier to go to iTunes, Music, Serato, Conversion Route, all tools over there. You got my number. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we'll chat it up. As a matter of fact, when I start my my 1 month using the iPad, we'll do a whole video. You know, pull you in, do that, good stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Next week, SoundSwitch buys Lightrider, gives middle finger to Pioneer. Well, I mean, technically speaking, SoundSwitch doesn't work with Pioneer DJ. The way you get around it is by using Ableton Link. That's how you slide over. So that's how I use Algorithm DJ with SoundSwitch. You turn on the Ableton Link, and then you can use it just fine. So there are ways around it. As long as they continue to let people use Ableton Link, then you're good. Get an ice pack for the iPad, and you're good. I'm not going backwards. That feels backwards. That really does. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I still retain all my Q points. Yeah, I think the Q point thing is how you transfer over. That's the issue. But like with Mixmasters, he has a way of allowing you to literally port all your cloud files over. So that's kind of what I want to do, because I don't care where my files are. If everything is on BeatSource, I'm totally fine with that, as long as my crates and everything look and feel like my local. Totally fine with that. You know, I don't really care, but I just need to know where my files are. That's it. Okay, let's see here. The DJ does work with tablets and cell phones. Yes, I agree, as I just demonstrated. I can't wait for Apple to switch to USB-C phones. Yes, me too. Me too, Joel. That's going to be huge. All right, Pablo. Thing with Apple is that they develop the OS, they build the hardware, they tweak it to work together. MS only does WinOS. The manufacturer chooses to tweak. Yeah, you're always at the mercy of the manufacturer. It is, anytime people blame Windows, it's typically never a Windows issue. It is a computer you bought issue. You know, so that's what happens. You know, and every so often with Apple, you know, they'll update their OS and it'll break a driver, and then they got to come back and fix it, or it'll do something. Like, I know that happens, but again, it's not an Apple issue. Apple's hardware and all of their Apple software will work just fine. It's just the external software that's the issue. The third-party stuff that is problematic, which is why you don't update to the newest OS just because it comes out. And what is it, July right now? So in September, we'll have a brand new OS. Do not update it to it. It's going to break your stuff. So that's the issue. DJ Mac Tech says, you didn't pay Alpha Theta for that license, so it'll be Rekordbox 6 Revenge Edition. Yeah, maybe. I think that Alpha Theta is not going to put themselves in a position to piss people off right now. So they're gonna keep everything status quo. They're going to make sure that none of the hardware that was working before stops. So I don't think we're going to run into an issue. Everything that I think will happen, if any changes are made, it's going to happen on the go forward. It's going to be future products that we're going to see little subtle tweaks and whatnot. However, I don't think they're going to come out with a Rekordbox only box. Every box is going to be a Rekordbox and Serato, and Serato will keep their division. You might see subtle enhancements going to Rekordbox and subtle enhancements going to Serato. So you're going to get the best of both worlds. And then at that point, you know, if maybe the parity is pretty close to parity anyway, maybe, you know, they start to incorporate both of them into one main program. but that's not coming. That's not coming out. And the fact that Serato Studio, I doubt we're going to see a Record Box Studio. I doubt we're going to see an Alpha Theta Studio. Like, I think Serato's going to keep their stuff. So there's a possibility that Serato becomes merged, but Serato Studio is not going to be merged. Serato Sample. This is music production applications. None of that's going to change. But there's some things that I would love to see included. I would love for them to revamp Flip. Absolutely love for them to revamp Flip. And it'd be great to see a Flip version in Rekordbox. It's little things like that. It's all of those plugins that they sold after the fact that I think have the potential to be ported over. All of those little plugins. I think if it's native to the system, that's where we get into some gray area. But anything that's a plugin, I think all bets are off. All bets are off. I gotta get that done in for family gigs. That Mixed Stream Pro Go is one of my favorites. Let's see here. USB mini fan. Yeah, I know. So look, it's like the same people that go with like a MacBook Air. People are like, I shouldn't buy a MacBook Air. I'm like, no, you're fine. It's still an M1. You're still good. Yes, you risk it if you're sitting in direct sunlight and the sun's just baking on it. But in general, I have found that if my iPad and my iPhone are both sitting in the sun, it's the iPhone that will trigger well before the iPad does. So I think we're good. Okay. Ernesto says, I feel the same way with VDJ in total. While using hotspot on my phone, when it works, you feel good. Since you have almost every song. Yeah, agreed. DJ Lazy Kid says, iPad overheated 10 minutes before ceremony Saturday, then decided to work properly for the entire cocktail hour. Had to balance out that heat. Mixmaster says, I love the Rev 7. I love DJ Pro AI on my iPad Pro, but the combination is still not ideal without the screens on the Rev 7 fully supported. So that is the thing. And what he's describing is correct. It's one of the, well, first off, I don't use the jogs in my Rev 7. I don't use the displays. It has my logo in there, and I never change them. But when there's just nothing there, that's always a problem, just because it feels like it's not working properly. So, who knows? I think, okay, so there is a benefit to Serato buying Rekordbox. I think that software like the Rev 7, you're going to potentially see Rekordbox support, because now there's no exclusive with Serato. You own Serato. So why not finally port it over to Rekordbox too? We know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with Rekordbox. Rekordbox works just fine. And from all the people I've said, it works just fine. It's just the exclusive is with Serato. If they own Serato, gray area. So I think we're in a potentially very good position. Tuner on F? Tuner on F? Tuner 1 FF? I don't know. Anyway, Best Stems Virtual DJ. I've talked about this before. I don't disagree with that statement. I just don't think it matters. I think Serato stems are just as good. So if they're just as good, if Virtual DJ is a little bit better, it's kind of like it's like when you go out and you get like great vodka or great whiskey or great tequila over good tequila. A lot of times it's not good enough for you to say, oh, I need to switch to this. And it's the same situation with stems. I've used them both. There's not much of a difference. And it depends on how you're using them. If you're using the acapella mode in Virtual DJ is better if you are running pure acapellas. That's where I think they have an edge on Serato. That's it. That's it. I think Serato, when you have when you have vocals and drums, sound better than Virtual DJ. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Like for me, when I'm DJing, I care about transitions. And if I remove the bass and I remove the melody out of a track and everything still retains and it even gets beefier, like that's all I need. Because I just want to take the bass out so I can transition to the next track without the bass getting in the way. You know, I'm rarely running acapellas just to do some mashups. And if I wanted to do something like that, I'd probably bring it into a stemverter or what's the guy that I use? What is the guy that I use? I don't even remember. Oh, Ripix. I would use something like that and just make an acapella. You know, if I knew that I was going to be doing something, and I would probably just take it in Serato Studio and then just make the new track. Because in reality, I think that is the difference for you DJs. VDJ stems are way better. You guys are telling me something that I know. This is from a person that literally uses every software out there. They're good. They're not way better. So we should probably just stop this right now. I'm not going to let you tell me that they are way better. They are way better than Rekordbox stems. They are way better than algorithm DJ stems. They are way better than Engine OS stems. But they're not way better than Serato. They're better. But nothing where, as you're DJing live, anybody's going to notice. Anybody's going to notice. So, and Renee says, for studio production, VDJ stems are much cleaner. Again, if you're doing studio production, it's likely that you're not even using them for stem separation. You're going to use a Ripix. You're going to use a stemverter. You're going to use something that is designed more for actual production. You know, so it doesn't really matter to me that it's better for production because I'm not going to use it anyway. You know, I mean, Algorithm DJ has their basically their production suite, and none of them has sounded as good as a Ripix conversion. None of them. So I would rather just use Ripix. Yeah, on the fly, if I'm trying to just make something real quick, or if in Serato Studio, I can stem out something so I can get an idea for the production as I'm making it. Yes, absolutely. I love that. That's not going to be my final product. I'm still going to pull Ripix in and then re-import that stuff because it's just Tractor DVS definitely kills Serato. Renee says I use them every day. We're talking about different things though. We're talking about different things. So we're just talking about different things. And again, you can use your stems every day. And I'm not going to get into a stem war with anybody today. Okay? All I am saying, and then maybe we can move on, is that Serato stems are good enough to use in a live environment while you're DJing. Virtual DJ, good enough to use in a live environment. I don't care that Virtual DJ's audio tail is a little bit better in their acapella than Serato. That means nothing to me. It's a temporary thing that I'm using it for anyway, you know? So that doesn't matter to me. Now, if I'm using Rekordbox stems or algorithm DJ stems, and then I go acapella, and then I hear all these frequency ranges hitting and artifacts, now there's an issue. That's the difference. Better? Best? You know, it's the difference between driving a Toyota or driving a Lexus. Still going to get you where you need to go. They're still both very good cars. It's just one has more refinements and maybe it's a little better, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still getting there and you're still doing what you need to do. So, just my opinion though. Just my opinion. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't realize with me that if you've been following me since I started, you guys will all know I don't really like to do the whole absolute thing. That doesn't come out of my mouth. Absolutes don't work because everybody is going. It's the same thing with speakers. Oh, RCF. Oh, this. Oh, that. Yeah. On the party, does anybody know? Because you're still playing 128 kilobit MP3s. Are you going to tell the difference? You know, every room is different. Every environment is different. Every situation is different. If it works for you, cool. You know, I just don't want it to suck. As long as it doesn't suck, you can use whatever you want. Tractor stems sound best. Yeah, well, they were a little different. They were glorified acapellas. You know, they were real. They were legitimately real stems on tractor. Cleveland runs on relative mode. Yes, yeah, yeah. It's just too many things have been good or best for a moment, and then something else comes out, and then it's better, and then something else comes out, and it's a little better. This very same thing happened with stems. Literally, we were using Virtual DJ 1.0 stems, and then Seratos came out, and I was like, these are the best sounding ones. And if you watch my video, I said these are the best sounding stems today. And then what happened? Virtual DJ came out with 2.0 like 3 or 4 days later, maybe a week. And then I was like, wow, these are the best sounding stems today. And then Serato came back and tweaked it. It's a cycle I don't want to get into. It really, because it doesn't change anything. Nobody's running to another program because their stems are a little better. Nobody's doing that. If you're a virtual DJ guy, that's where you're going to stay. So it doesn't matter if they're better or worse. It doesn't change anything. If you're a Serato guy, you're just happy that they sound good enough to use in a production live environment. That's it. That's it. That's it. So just be happy with what you have. I mean, there's stems on your iPhone. They're karaoke mode. Stems. That's all it is. Just stems. And their karaoke mode sounds pretty damn good. You know, so it's like, I don't want to get into the wars with it. Just be happy. Because there's nothing I'm going to tell you that's going to get you to move from virtual DJ. So it doesn't really matter what I think. You know, you love virtual DJ. And that's great. And virtual DJ is a great program. Okay, so in the building, what's going on, fam? Engine DJ for the win. Well, we know Engine DJ stems are nowhere near where they need to be. Like we can all agree that those stems need work. We can all agree on that. As long as it don't suck, I'm telling you. I've done parties with the best possible speakers and just decent speakers, and it's never affected. Because I'm not going to take trash speakers to any event, but just in general, I've never walked in with any speaker system, whether it be Pioneer, whether it be LD, whether it be QSC, whether it be JBL, whether it be RCF. I've never walked into any venue and people were like, it would have been good, but most people don't hear. You know how I know this? So I'm at a dance convention right now, right? We take food to my kids because they had a break. And they're using, I don't even know what line arrays they're using. They look like RCFs, but they're not RCFs. And as I was sitting there having a conversation, they plugged in something. Okay, could have been an iPhone or a computer or whatever. When they plugged it in, ground hum, like crazy. Low frequency ground hum, okay? I'm sitting there having a conversation with like the moms and everybody, and we're chatting, and I'm just like, I can't even be in this room. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't hear that humming? That weird? No, I don't. Regular people don't hear this stuff. We are DJs. This is what we do for a living. So we have trained our ears to hear things that matter. The only time people ever hear ground hum is typically when they're doing a speech or something and it's like overriding their sound. But nobody hears ground hum. Nobody hears, a slightly weaker MP3. Oh, you're not using, over 300. No, this is a 192. Oh, I can hear that. No, you can't. Stop lying. Stop lying. So it doesn't really matter. I've actually heard decent sounding 128s and crappy ass sounding 192s, 192, 196. I can't remember. I think it's 192. So it happens. It happens. You're going to hear what you want to hear. And sometimes people, I feel, need to hear things to support their purchases, to support their choices. I don't care what you use. And I don't care if something's a little better if the stuff that I use allows me to do my job and to do it well. That's it. That is it. Honestly, that is it. So I've walked into it. Oh, RCF bro. Oh, baseballs bro. Well, you know what? I don't have those. I have QSC. I have JBL, and every party I've ever done has rocked, and nobody's ever said one word. So clearly, they're good enough. Good enough is good enough for me, because that's not why anybody books the DJ. When it's all said and done, nobody's booking you because you use virtual DJ. Nobody's booking you because your stems sound better than Serato. Nobody's booking you because you're using RCF speakers or you're using, some high-end lighting. Nobody's booking you for that. They're booking you because you come recommended, or they like you, or they've seen you and you do a good job. That's it. That is it. That's the only reason. So, the contradiction, because I'm literally a guy that talks about hardware and equipment, and it's always coming out, and I'm saying it's good or it's bad, and it's giving you the itch to buy something. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that is literally telling you, oh, this is great, you should buy it. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of it matters. Yes, I use certain things. I mean, Danny Max is, I'm an ambassador for the Max booths now. They send me booths. I've used them. They're great. Do they affect your ability to do your party? No. If you don't have one, is your party going to suck? No. Do they look good? Yes. Do you need them? No. Are they cool to have? Yes. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying here? So it's like, I know people get into this rat race. I get it. And I know I'm in a position to where I get a lot of things from a lot of people. They want me to send them. They want me to represent them. They want me to put it on my IG. I know. But if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. Of course, don't have shitty products. That's a thing too. Don't have that. But, when you're ready to upgrade, or if you're looking for said thing, and I happen to have a video that says, oh yeah, the Rev 7 is cool, or oh yeah, the Danny Max booth is cool, then by all means, do your thing. But come on, guys, we're in a different market now. This economy sucks. We're doing well as far as DJs are concerned, because everybody seems to be wanting to book DJs right now. I know a lot of people have increased their prices, but even though inflation has killed all abilities to actually make use of said increases, but everything's going well for DJs right now. It's a good time to be a DJ. But that doesn't mean that you need to upgrade everything. Like we were in a position, like we were upgrading just because we liked stuff. Oh, that's a cool light. Let's upgrade that. Oh, this is cool. Let's upgrade that. And we're like, once you get to a certain point, it's good, And now we no longer update every single system that we have, because we were dropping $20,000 at a time. Because if you update one, you got to update 4. It's a lot. You don't have to be that person. Yeah, you're DJing for regular people, not DJs. Exactly. And I ran into this on Saturday before I left. You know, I brought my booth in. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna rock my booth. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put my totems up. And I got to the party, and the client had set up this almost like a backdrop right in front of the DJ booth. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to set up here. Party planner was like, no, she decided she doesn't want you there because she wants to use that for the grand entrance. She wants to use that for the sand ceremony. It's kind of like a candle lighting. So you're going to be over to the side. Okay, you're going to be over to the side. And now I'm like, okay, great. So now I'm over to the side. Everything's awkward. Nothing looks right. I'm not bringing in my totems. Fortunately, there was a stage. So I set up on the stage, put the chevet and all that up there. I didn't bring my totems in, so I put the 160s right on the stage because it was like 5 feet in the air. So I had that. And guess what? Worked out just fine. Everything was good. It wasn't exactly the way I wanted it, but that's what we run into. So we just need to be in a position to where we're flexible. Juan Dizimo, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, we just have to be in a position to just do a good job. That's it. But when it's all said and done, nobody cares. Is your stuff clean? Does it look, hopefully it doesn't look raggedy? That's all they care about. And if there's like a lot of dirt and dust on your stuff, that's it. That's it. Nobody cares much. You know, a lot of times they tell you it's too loud anyway. Can you turn it down? We're trying to talk. You know, we want the best. They don't care. And that was the thing. Johnny says it's not about you, it's about the client. Yeah, so the client is, because I'm talking to the party planner, and the party planner's like, oh, you know, I really want you, we brought the booth this time, because normally we bring facades or whatever. She's like, you brought the booth. Oh, I really want to put you in front because it's going to look good. The dance floor is white. It's going to all connect. She went back to the client and said, hey, we should probably do this so it connects. The client's like, no, it's not what I want. That's it. That's it. You know, we bring tons of stuff sometimes, and it's like you get there, you know, sometimes you get there, and then the designers have set the room up and everything, and you barely have enough room for your speakers, and you're just like, okay, we're going to have to make this work. And there's nothing more frustrating to me that when I look on like DJ Ideas forum or, you know, something else, and people are like, so I walked into this room and they had me off to the side, and bro, that's not in my contract. I like to be in the middle. And then some other idiot will say, oh, well, you know, did you do a walkthrough before the party? And you're like, shut up. Can you just move over? Is it so hard for one day that it doesn't be about you? Is it so hard? Sorry, guys. I'm ranting a little bit here. I didn't mean to take you there, but there's a reason that I don't comment too much on like DJ idea sharing or, you know, whatever other large Facebook forum there is. There's an absolute reason, because I think that I would go off on people, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I try to be good. So I just stay away. I really stay away a lot. There's a lot of comments that could be made. Exactly, Stevie. Exactly. You know, I love the contract people. It's not in my contract. It's not in this. It's not in that. Like, so you're telling me that you're gonna throw that in a client's face? A client that just spent, you know, $2,000 to $5,000 on you. You're gonna drop a client. You're gonna drop a contract statement on them. Just make it work. Bro, I never do a party without putting a tent up. And if they don't have a tent, I always bring my own tent. You're going to bring your ugly ass tent to this $400,000 wedding? That's what you're telling me? Oh wait, probably because you don't do $400,000 weddings, so you don't understand the difference between big events and basic events. You can bring your ugly ass tent to a basic event. You can do that. I guarantee you, any high-end party planner is not letting you ruin her design because it's in your contract. They're going to be like, I don't care what's in your contract. Take it down. Anyway. Oh, enough about that. Let's see. I left the DJ Facebook group where their conversations got heated and over some guy defending that he has the right to conceal carry. We won't even get started on that. I know I'm in Florida. It's bad enough here, so I know. But yeah, Florida, Texas, any of those Midwest places, yeah, I'm good. You know, people might make fun of like the whole, oh, you're in California, oh, you woke people. Hey man, I know what to expect in California. That's all. I don't want to be innocent bystander because I didn't know. And some hero is trying to make a statement. What's better than a bad man with a gun? A good guy with a gun. Shut up. When I see that on the news, we can talk about that. Okay. Oh, man. In instances where the inclement weather and no cover, how do you handle that for those big events? Biggest we tend to do are 100,000 range, so 400. So, okay, no, this is a perfect question, Matthew. Anytime there's a rain issue or potentially a rain issue, the party planner will tent the entire venue. They will spend another $30,000 to $40,000 to tent the venue and not even think about it. I've seen people put tents up literally the night before. The night before. So it's never really about that. You know, it's just an issue. And again, if you're outside, and there is a situation where, you know, it's hot or whatever, and you're concerned with your thing, come prepared. You know, if I know it's gonna be super hot, I have different scenarios. That's why I bought this M1 MacBook, for that reason, to avoid. Or go all in one. Have your Denon Prime Go or something sitting there ready to swap out if you run into issues. I've never had an issue with my Denon Prime Go. It's baking at 104 degrees. It didn't give me one issue. So there are ways around it. You know, but sometimes DJs are just, I think the D and DJs is diva, because they think everything is for them. It's the same situation if you go to a club, if you DJ at a nightclub, if you DJ at a private party. These two things are for DJs that play music for crowds. The people that came to the club did not come to specifically see you. You want to be James Hype, you know? You want to be, somebody large, or, Calvin Harris or Guetta, even a Four Color Zach. Four Color Zach's a great example, because he is a DJ, but he's a very specialized DJ. He DJs his way, and you have to appreciate what he's doing in order to really be there and absorb what he's doing. So in the event that they're not coming for you, you don't matter. Just give the people what they want. Keep them dancing. If they're coming for you, do whatever the hell you want. Play what you want, do what you want, do your thing. Lou Primo says they purchased. Lou, you're late, pal. We already had a long conversation about this. Very, very long conversation. For a direct heat, I just use a gel cooling pad on the laptop. Yeah, that works too. And again, with these M1s, if you bring a cooling pad too, I think you can work in hell and you'd still be rocking. A lot of freaking and stuff. Like, because you're in hell, so everybody's just doing nasty stuff. But I think you'd be fine. Yeah, I think your shoes would melt before your computer does. I learned how to troubleshoot in life by being a DJ. Excellent. Because it requires on the job, on your feet thinking. Something's wrong, fix it now before it becomes a bigger problem. Something's wrong, I got to swap something out while I'm DJing and not stop the music so it becomes obvious. Like there's a lot of things that we have to do. And along with, oh shit, there's something wrong, there's also watch the crowd. Is the crowd still vibing on what you're playing? You know, you have to change the rules. All of these things are a part of it. All of it. And I just feel like either we have older DJs who have just done their thing their way for 25, 30 years and you can't tell them shit, or new DJs who, because this new generation of people, you can't tell them shit. So I think we people, especially people who are in this chat right now, are in the middle. We're those, 80s, 90s kids that like grew up on our own and had to just make things work. We're latchkey kids and your parents didn't come home until 7 o'clock at night and you were home with your brother and you were both 11 and 12. Like my brother would watch me and he's 4 years older than me. So me as a 6-year-old or 7-year-old, I'm being watched by my 11-year-old. We go in the house, lock the door, don't let anybody in. That's the way we grew up. When we went out to play, we left the town. We'd ride bikes into the next city, get on a train. Your parents didn't care where you were. They didn't know where you were. They just, as long as you were home, when the lights came on, they didn't want to know. They didn't want to know. But this new generation, man, different. They're just different. And I just feel like there's a lot of entitlement coming from these new DJs, and the expectations aren't about fulfilling the client's needs, but fulfilling their needs. How do I look? How do I look in front of all these people when all those people don't care that you're even there? Just play, don't stop believing and move it. Keep it moving. Like I know you want to drop this new track that you just downloaded from somewhere else, but guess what? You're doing a party, you're doing a private event. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear they want to hear what they want to hear. Just do what they want. Because you know what I care about? And then we'll end it. I care about continuing to book events. I care about making sure that I'm still booking for 300 to 400 events every year. I care about the fact that a client pays the premium because they know the quality that we put out there. And the consistency of, you know what, they're always good all the time. And it doesn't matter who you get, they're always good. That's what I care about. That's it. It's not about me. I learned that a long time ago. You want it to be about you? Go headline somewhere. Start producing. Then you can do whatever you want. But you don't have the right to go to somebody's party and try to institute what your beliefs are. Now, if you're like Nick Spinelli, perfect example, Nick will drop mashups and, strange, and that strange not in a bad way, but just like different than what people are expecting, because he tells the client specifically, well, you found me on IG, you found me on YouTube, you know what I do, you know what I like, you know what I am. So that's what I'm going to do on your party. And most of the time they're like, well, that's what we want. We saw that. We saw how fun it was. We saw this. We saw that. So that's what he's giving them, because that's what they asked for. But if somebody's calling you and you don't have that representation, and people are like, no, we saw you do this wedding. We saw you do this wedding. We like that. That doesn't mean, oh, you like that? Well, let me switch it all. It means they like that. So give them that. Anyway. Okay, Kevin John says, each event I am booked for, I ask what type of music expectations, hasn't filled me yet. Yeah, exactly. That's why we have these music playlists. And you look, guys, as DJs, we know it doesn't take much. That's why I love when people are like, are we going to do our final meeting? It's like, yeah, fill out the questionnaire first, and then we'll do our final meeting, because the questionnaire is going to tell me more about who you are than anybody else, than anything else. Because when I'm talking to you, yeah, I'm getting your vibe kind of, but knowing what you like is more important. That's it. So we'll be good. How's your 24 looking? I'm scared. It's the lightest year I've been booked. We are booking 24 and 25 right now, so we're in a good position. We're in a good position. It is it's very interesting. I mean, I don't know. What do you do, Stevie? You do weddings? What's your thing? Let me know. Anyway, but yeah, we're doing good. Phone calls are still coming through like crazy. Like literally, I've been here for 3 days, and the phone just keeps ringing. Emails keep coming through, and this is our dead time, in July. So it's interesting because normally for us, we might get several people calling because they have time off finally, but usually late August is when we start doing all those new events and those new bar mitzvahs, and then sure enough, everybody and their mother sees us and then starts calling us to book. So it just depends. DJ Jack Hammer in the building. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. As a club DJ, I care about bartenders and club staff getting paid because they need tips. Yeah. So the better you play, the more people dance, and then when you do switch up the music to get them to go to the bar, they're ready to drink. They're having a good time, and then you switch back, and they come back to the floor. No, Steve, this is not what we ever need to do. Okay. Let's see here. I know I have to get on a call. It's 5:15 here. Okay, I have a call at 6:30. I got to go see my kid dance. They're dancing in about a half hour. I just got the text message from the wife. So, I'm glad I did this show. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wasn't sure, but very, very good turnout today. And I know that a lot of people, wanted to hear about Serato and stuff like that, but very good turnout. Make sure you guys hit the like on there. I see 61 likes, but with over 200 people on here, I should see 200 likes. That's what I should see. I won't be doing Tech Thursday. Today is my day because I am golfing with all the dads here, all the dance dads. Wednesday, that's tomorrow, I will be on Tweak Music Tips on Twitch, on the Tweak Music Tips site. We're going to be doing a show at his place. So please check out Kova and I. That's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should be a great time. It'll be fun. Never have we been together, so it's going to be fun. DJ Red says, biggest tip you've ever received? From a client, for a song request. Well, I've made upwards of $300 per song request because they gave me 100, and then I said, yeah, I'm going to play it, and then I hadn't played it fast enough, so they gave me another 100. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play it. Give me a minute. Then I hadn't played it fast enough, and they gave me another 100, and I played it right after that. That's the most I've made. As far as client gigs, I think I've gotten 500. I also got a bottle of Cristal. They sent us a bottle of Cristal. That was amazing. So yeah, just depends. Okay. It says 6:11, but I know it's 7:11. Oh, gotcha. I'll make that change. Thank you for letting me know. We are live, so it does make it easy. But let's change that right now. I was duplicating one of my older ones. So, save. Okay, there we go. Anyway, enjoy the 5-star hotel. Yeah, 5-star, 5 times the amount of money, too. All right, so I am done for the day, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out today. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And make sure, I don't know, I have some videos to do soon if I have some time. If not, I will see you guys back here on next Thursday, and we'll see if Thursday's working. I don't know. We might have to do another Tuesday and see what the numbers are like. Maybe Tuesday, but I'm also later in the day. I don't know what time it is, so I think I started 2.5 hours ago. So that would have been, what, 3:20? So that would have been noon. So maybe you guys like noon. You know, who knows? We'll see. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys soon. If you have any parties this weekend, have great parties. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitch. Tweak Music Tips. See you soon, y'all. Peace out. If I can get my local video up. Not that. Peace out. Enjoy your day.